Okay, give me a second here. Oh, dang, I really got to get some super glue for this hat. Alright. Alrighty then. Pulling up a guide. We are also waiting for Diusi. Alright. Welcome back, Di. You ready to start off this next case? Yeah. This is going to be the saddest case in the entire game. So I hope you have your box of tissues with you. I hereby call this meeting to order. The committee is gathered here in the sight of the goddess to pass fair and frank judgment. The purpose of this hearing is to assess the professional competency of Mr. Edgeworth. Why are you wearing that raincoat? No! Ah! Hello, Time Matt. April 5th, 1:23 p.m. High Prosecutor's Office, room 1202. Will you please stop pacing, Detective? You're kicking up dust, not to mention putting a hole in my floor. But I swept the floor 3 times already! Yes, I'm at case 4. One of the saddest cases in the entire game. Then sweep it a 4th. They're gonna take your bed, Mr. Edgeworth! How can you just stand there cool as a cucumber? We don't know for certain that they will. Well, it sure seems like they mean to. Judge Gavelle pretty much spelled it out. Truly, you are proving to be quite a threat to the committee for prosecutorial excellence. As such, you give me little choice but to report back on your continued transgression. No doubt you will be called to appear before the committee in due course. She said I would be called to appear before the committee, nothing more. Well, he doesn't normally do that anyways. Well, I don't care. I won't stand for it. What if we never get to work together again? I had thought you would welcome the prospect, Detective. After all, it would mean you could work with someone less problematic. Don't say that, sir. I've never heard anyone except that stupid committee say you're problematic. You're not just looking for an excuse, are you? To become a defense attorney, I mean. Because I won't let you! I played this game before, yes. I actually own it on physical cartridge. And yes, it is in English. Matter of fact, I can actually show it to you. It'll be like magic. Right there it is. The only thing I don't have is a manual for it. Because I've been looking for a print for it. Yes, I do. I actually do. It is actually nice that the modding community can actually flash a cart. You're Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth. Prosecutor, you hear? To be honest, a defense attorney, huh? To become a defense attorney, huh? The circumstances of my father's death set me on the path to becoming a prosecutor. But I only been interested in the law to begin with thanks to my father as well. And his work as a defense attorney. Are you going to keep fighting crime as a prosecutor or help people as an attorney? Something tells me you've got a big decision ahead of you. One only you can answer. Are you listening, Mr. Edgeworth? I said, I won't let you do this. Really, Detective? There's no need to be so dramatic. Who knows? The next prosecutor you work with might be a little less lenient with your salary assessments. Really? So, no more instant noodles? I mean, no! What are you saying, sir? I don't care about any of that stuff! Well, we know who he's referring to when he says that man. But you thought about it, didn't you? If only for a moment. We're busy in here. Come back later. Hello there. Is the prosecutor in? A Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth? Look, pal. What part of we're busy don't you get? Wait outside, I'll be with you in a bit. Oh, that's not good. Your face is as red as a tomato. Red face. Gritted teeth. Let's see. I said we're busy. Wait, that's it. Stomach cramps, right? No need to worry. It's nothing an injection can't cure. Now roll up your sleeves for me. It won't hurt much. No thanks, pal. I'm healthy as can be. And who might you be? Oh, sorry. I totally forgot to introduce myself, huh? The name is Needler. Florence Needler. I'm a nurse at Hertz Hospital. Well, nobody here is hurt, so are you sure you have the right room? Yeah, you're Prosecutor Edgeworth, right? Wow, those are some deep furrows in your brows. Are you feeling alright? Suffering from severe headache? I could give you an injection that'll... I'll be fine, thank you. Could you please just tell us what you're doing here? Hello, Phoenix. Huh? Sure. Well, it's like this. I brought somebody to see you. Wait right here. I'll go grab her. Wait! picture from a hospital. Maybe it's a patient? Hottie Clinic, Hickfield. Run by the same man, aren't they? Even if they change their last name in 10 long years. Someone you cut down to size with your trademark rapier wit? And what exactly is that supposed to mean? See, that right there, sir. When you glare at me like that. Capcom, fix your typos! I lose the will to live. That is supposed to be when you glare at me, not when you glare at me. Capcom, fix the dang typo. God dang, this thing's only a year old. You can go fix it. Patch it up and fix that text. I know you're listening. You don't want to send me to the hospital, do you? Surely he's exaggerating. After all, that's the look I always give him, and nothing's happened so far. Sorry to keep you fellas waiting. Well, thoughts? Di, do you know who she is? Okay. Thoughts on what? You don't recognize me? There is something about her. Something familiar. This had your name on it. So I thought, just maybe. So you really did. Don't be ridiculous, detective. Well, look, sir, your name's right there on that card. Public Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth, plain as day. Be that as it may. I'm so sorry. What she's trying to say is she has amnesia. Amnesia? Yes, at least that's what they tell me. Her parents must be worried about her. I bet they've only been getting around 8 hours of sleep each night. You gotta feel for them. Oh, she's sort of an orphan? Why though? Because that's quite a lot of sleep, if you ask me. Whoa, tough break. Don't you worry, alright? Since you had his card, that means you really must know Mr. Edgeworth somehow. So just sit back and we'll take it from here. Right, sir? At the very least, we might be able to help you figure out your identity. Really? Will you? It's going to come down to what you remember, but yes. No, that's the Mr. Edgeworth I know. Don't worry, miss. You're as good as healed. Let's not get carried away here, detective. I'm a prosecutor, remember? Not a miracle worker. Where do we even start? So, do you remember your name, miss? I'm sorry. She's been like this since she came in yesterday. So she's only been in the hospital for a day? No way, that's amazing. How did you figure it out so fast? Ugh. How can one person be so emotionally draining? We stream every day. I specifically don't stream every day. My brother is doing Grocery Store Simulator tomorrow. I will come back on Wednesday and do Da Hack. This week, I'm doing Castlevania 3 off the Switch. And we also have to do training camp on Friday for the PFL. That's our lineup so far. On the weekends, my brother's going to take over for games he plays. So you can actually take a look at the schedule on the homepage of this channel, and you'll see upcoming streams. I usually only do 1 week ahead. I don't do 2 or 3 weeks ahead because I never know when things are going to change. So I set up a week because I know exactly what the week is going to look like. They found her wandering around late last night and brought her in. I wanted to help out, so I went through her stuff to see what I could find. And did you find anything apart from my business card? Nothing with her name or home address. Oh, wait a second. She was wearing this. It's a pretty unique design, right? What? This pin! What the heck? That Yatagarasu pin! Does that mean... But it can't be! Okay. Is it really you? Okay. Yatagarasu pin data jotted down in my organizer. It's you, isn't it, Kay? I'm... Kay? Come on, Kay, you really don't remember? Look, it's me, Gummy! That's what you always call me. Gummy? But you're an adult, that's so rude. I don't really call you that, do I? I'm pretty sure everybody in the Ace Attorney community knows what it is. From the symbol, it's a three-legged raven. My only guess is it's probably a Japanese yokai resembling a three-legged raven, I guess. That's my guess. I'm so sorry. I can't believe I feel so guilty now. What? What the heck happened to you? I've never seen you so polite. Being polite and sensitive is just not. Where's the Kay I know? You're nothing like her. Careful, detective. We wouldn't want her to get the wrong impression. You make it sound as if Kay isn't normally or polite or sensitive soul. Not that he's wrong exactly, but so what kind of person was I before? Well, first of all, your full name is Gay Faraday. You're bright and fun and full of energy, and oh yeah, you're a great thief. A great thief? There's a little more to it than that, but yes. Thieves generally steal other people's valuables from their dressers or values and... Steal? What? But that must be so awful for the people I took things from. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know I was a criminal. Maybe I lost my memory as sort of punishment? No, that's not what I meant at all. I don't think that did her much good, sir. But it sure explained one thing. Look at these gloves. They're just the kind of person like that to wear. Hey, that outfit! This? That's what she was wearing when they found her. But we had to get her to change out of it and put on hospital clothes, so that's why I have them. There's something on this part here. Could it be something to do with how Kay lost her memory? Gumshoes and Edgeworth has seen her for 3 days throughout his entire life and is doing the "this isn't your speech." I'll send the outfit over to Forensic later and see what they can figure out. Please do, detective. Boy, they really are some thievy clothes, huh? But I'm a criminal. You may be a great thief, but you've never committed a crime in your life. Rest assured, you are no criminal. If you say so. Perhaps we'd better leave it there for now. I'm sorry. I wish I could remember who you are. How do we know each other exactly? Well, that is, how do I put it into words? You're Prosecutor Edgeworth's assistant. I am? So a prosecutor is the head of some sort of great thief network then? No, not quite. We last saw Kay 2 days ago. Perhaps we should try to figure out what she's been doing since then. Was the pin the only item on her person when you received her, Nurse Needler? There were a few other things, but I doubt any of it will be much of use to you. I'd like to be the judge of that. Could you please show them to me? Show them to us? One thing I would say, in my opinion, I prefer the fan translation in this case. As far as the names, some of the names I don't mind the changes. This case, the names did not have much of an impact on me as much when I played it the first time. But as we stated last case, there was a reason why that last case had to be changed, because for whatever reason, they had this weird concept of putting a trial on delay because of a confession or whatever happened like that, or whatever, because they couldn't find the body or something like that. That's what the fan translation had. That's not what happened in this game. In fact, when a confession happened, it extended the statute of limitation on the murder. So that's what happened in that case. but that wasn't what happened in the fan translation. So that change, I do mind. A few name changes I don't really like. I don't really like Verity Gavel's name. I like her name in the fan translation. I'm not entirely sure what you mean. I mean, it's been like what? I think the last time I played this version was back in 2021, I believe. So I would have to remember what the fan translation had. Well, alright then. In no particular order, I present Gemma Ninja Mask? Was she at a show or something? Letter. And it's addressed to K. That's the ticket stub. And finally, a fake flower. The kind people like to spur out their bathrooms with, too. It's a corsage, detective. And they're usually worn by women. And that's that. So, anything useful in there? That's okay. Take care, Tiamat. Kinda hard to tell, frankly. I'm not really seeing a connection between any of them. Should take a closer look at each pieces later when I have the chance. Gem and Ninja Math data jotted down in my organizer. Letter data jotted down in my organizer. Ticket stub data jotted down in my organizer. Magenta flower data jotted down in my organizer. Ugh. This is bad. How do we get Kay's memory back? We can't just let her stay like this forever. Calm down, detective. I have an idea. You do? I knew you would come to the rescue, sir. So, what is it? Look closely at the ticket stub. Oh, it's for the viewing platform at the top of the big building. The big building? You know that place? Everybody knows it, silly. It's the hottest date spot in town. They say that if a couple holds hands while they're up there, they'll stay together forever. This is yesterday's date, and the ticket is only valid on the day specified. Registered as a student. Interesting. Plus, it's a stove. That means she used it, right? I think it's a distinct possibility. Well, should we go see what we can find? No? Just like that? The only way to figure out how Kay lost her memory is to retrace her steps. But what about your thing with the committee? Not for a little while yet. We have time. Great. So, can I leave Kay with you? That would be for the best, but you don't mind, do you, Kay? Oh, of course not. Thank you. Alrighty then, back to work I go. If you need anything, feel free to give me a holler at the Hertz Hospital, okay? I can come running with a syringe or 3, whatever you might happen to be. Yes, thank you. I doubt we'll be needing that particular service. Now then, Detective, shall we get going? You too, Kay. Yes, sir! Yes, of course. April 5th. Big building plaza. So according to this pamphlet, the big building's 50-story high. It's all offices inside, so the viewing platform up top is the only part that's open to the public. Here, this one's for you, sir. They were handing them out for free in the ticket area. How very kind of you, detective. Big building pamphlet data jotted down in my organizer. Alright, I think it's time we headed inside. Look out! The big building, it's about to fall! What? We gotta do something! No, please, I'm begging you, stop! It's no good. That fresh milk, my thoughts just aren't getting through to me. What's happening here? What's going on with the building? Just stay calm and talk to me, kid. God! I'm so sorry. We're shooting a movie, so could you, Oh, yes. I thought as much. Forgive our intrusion. We'll get out of your way, detective. Sorry. Really had me there for a second. Yeah, whatever. Hey, director guy, can we take 5? I can't work under these conditions. I'm sorry. Gosh. So they stopped the building from falling down? That's good. I wish we had time to explain, but maybe later. Come along, you two. Let's make ourselves scarce. April 5th, 2:18 p.m. Big building. Viewing platform. Whoa! Get a load of the view. Feel that sun on your face. This viewing platform is wrong. I'll tell you why. I'd like to thank whoever subscribed. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I appreciate all my lurkers. Anyways, this viewing platform, the perspective of this viewing platform is completely wrong. I'll tell you why. This viewing platform is basically the size of one room inside of a building, which for it to be a big building, you would think this viewing platform would be bigger. And I can be almost certain that this viewing platform would be the size of a football stadium. This viewing platform is way too small. The wind is very strong up here. That's okay. You just stand behind me or Mr. Edgeworth here. We're both more than big enough to keep the breeze away. Think for yourself. Okay. Does this place bring back any memories? Yeah, sure. Have I really been here before? Perhaps simply encouraging her to talk will help. Okay, please. Any thoughts or feelings that come to mind might be a clue we can use. Alright. I don't know if this will be of any help at all, but what I remember. Okay, hold on a sec here. There we go. I still can't be sure if I've ever been here before. It's so high up. The wind is so strong. It's terrifying. I don't remember. I just don't remember anything. It's no good. I'm so sorry. No dice, huh? I'm sorry. I feel so useless. I know I'm supposed to have all those memories, but I just can't remember. You have amnesia, Kay. Don't be so hard on yourself. Listen, sir. Maybe just this once, try not to be so intimidating, okay? Or at least, very least, don't use your trademark glare on her. Nobody asked for your opinion, detective.
Hold it!
Well, this ticket stub says otherwise. But I don't remember. I don't remember coming here at all. I can't even imagine wanting to come here.
Hold it!
Kay used to love places like this, though. But am I really her? I feel dizzy just taking a look around. I don't even think anyone should be allowed up here. What if an old person fell, or a child? It doesn't bear thinking about. There's a fence all around us, and it's plenty high. There's really no need to worry. If you say so.
Hold it!
If nothing is coming to mind, then just take a look around. Do you recognize anything? Anything at all? Let's see. Ah, cherry blossoms. Go on. I was standing under the cherry tree. Yes! I was trying to stay out of the rain. It was raining. I remember now. And there was a red something. So it was raining. She was underneath the cherry tree. She saw something red from where she stood. But what? Was it something I said? No, but if you could add that to your testimony, we can explore it further. From under the cherry tree, I think I saw something red.
Hold it!
This something red. Can you tell me any more about it? I'm not sure. It was just red thing. That's all I can say. What can we see nearby that's red? Was it the concession stand
over there, perhaps? A red concession stand? Yes, I think it was. Somebody was walking towards me from behind it. And then what happened? Then, I'm sorry. That's alright. If you could just add what you told us to your testimony. But there was something walking towards me from behind the concession stand.
Hold it!
The stand in question is the one behind you, correct? That's right. I remember the red color and the person walking towards me from behind it. I saw her all from under the tree. Tell me something. This person you keep mentioning, could you not see their face? Or did you simply not know who they were? I'm sorry. I'm just not sure. So all we have to go on is a person walking towards her from behind the concession stand. And the fact that she saw this from behind the cherry tree.
Hold it!
It doesn't have to be related to how you lost your memory, but if anything floats up at all, just say it. Really? Well, let's see. Oh, the cotton candy from that stand there? I don't know why, but it just came to me. If you're hungry, you only have to say. You want cotton candy? You got it, my treat. Thank you. It would make my day. I have to get something out of her somehow. Maybe if I pressure her a little, or press her a little, I could shake something loose. I really don't like cotton candy. I hate the taste of cotton candy. Yeah. Alright, so we gotta pick a statement. Can't go next. This is the last statement. Already lost frames? What are you talking about? Alright. Pick the evidence. Letter isn't going to help us. Not with this statement. Matter of fact, we don't even have any leads on this letter. Right now, this is what we call a dead evidence until we get a lead. Matter of fact, 4 of the pieces of evidence are pretty much dead. This is also another dead evidence because we don't even have any leads for it either. Ticket stub? This isn't going to help us because the ticket stub is how we got under the viewing platform. The mask is a dead piece of evidence right now. We don't have any leads on it.
Objection!
You say that you saw someone over there beyond the stand and that they were walking towards you? Yes. I can see them getting closer. Are you sure it wasn't a ghost? No. It was a person, I'm sure of it. Now this is where the story gets a little wishy-washy. But from where you were standing, anyone you saw on the other side of the concession stand would have to have been floating in midair, hundreds of feet above the ground. See where he's getting at, Di? So how on earth could it have been a person? Eek! I'm not lying, I promise! Somebody ran the stand! Something ran! And they were on the other side! They were walking towards me, getting closer and closer. And then they, ah! Gay, what's the matter? You're all right. We're here. Whatever it is, it can't hurt you. I was pushed and I fell. But a person in a... Yes, a raincoat! A red raincoat! A person in a red raincoat who could walk on air and who supposedly pushed her off of the building? So, before we get ahead of ourselves, you listen to what she said. She didn't specifically state that she was pushed off the building. That was the assumption that Edgeworth assumed. So she just said she was pushed and fell. So he assumed that she was pushed off the building. So there could have been a miscommunication on his part. None of this makes any sense. Not the least of which, nobody could fall from this height and survive. Case recollections data jotted down in my organizer. Now this is why I always have a problem when they do like the recollection and reminisce music and stuff. Recollection is somebody verbally telling somebody their story and stuff like that. They're recollecting an event, and the music reflects on that. When they use reminiscence, it's a solo, one person. They're not telling a story. It's something that they think of that story, and it's in their mind. That's reminiscing. So, when you see the titles for the music for the Ace Attorneys, when they do recollections and reminiscence and stuff like that, there is no reminiscing in the Ace Attorneys. It's all recollecting. And whoever named those music for the later Ace Attorney games, they got it wrong. So, because there's no reminiscing that happens in Ace Attorney, it's all recollections, and this proves it right here. Attention everyone, please stay right where you are. What's wrong, officer? I'm Detective Gumshoe. Mind filling me in? Yes, sir. A body has been discovered here in this building, sir. A body? Whose body exactly? Not sure. We're still working on it. But what we do know is the victim is a young woman. And that her name is Kay. What? What the blazing? Have you used up that box of tissues yet, Di? No? Well, that's good because we got more to do. Thoughts so far? You're probably thinking it's too much to take in, right? The first case of the year. Yes. What Kay was recollecting is confusing. You're right. So, this was actually really short, so what can you recap from this? Kay lost her memory, you're correct. Now, what about the body? They assume that the victim is Kay Faraday. What do we know about this girl? So, do we know for certain that the girl we have is Kay Faraday? Maybe Kay Faraday is dead. That would be very sad, wouldn't it? Well, let's take a look at part 2 and see what happens. But, do you see what I'm talking about, right, Di? That Prosecutor Gambit is definitely the wrong title for it. You understand what I mean, right? It is a very bad title for this game. It really should have been Prosecutor's Path. Because it's really basically the path to reclaiming his badge. He didn't gamble his position. It was taken away from him. That's why I think Capcom made a mistake when they named this game. Because the original title was literally Prosecutor's Path. That's what it would have went under if it was released back in 2011. But because the first Miles Edgeworth game didn't meet sale expectations in the United States, and did poorly in Japan, they didn't release it over here in the States, which I think it was a mistake. April 5th, 2:36 p.m. Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence, Chamber. What is this room? Interesting how this game is lagging on the Switch. Officer, isn't this... Yes, sir. This is the trial chamber of the Committee of Prosecutorial Excellence. So, it's here now? I knew that they'd moved out of the prosecutor's building. But I had no idea that they'd come here. Big building pamphlet data jotted down in my organizer. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth. And Kate, too. How are you all doing? Is okay? Feeling any better? We heard there was some kind of incident. I'm sorry, but who might this be? This is my grandma. Hold on one sec. Name's Hilda Hertz, Sonny. And who the heck might you be? It's a pleasure to meet you. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth at your service. Nurse Needler, your grandmother's name is Hertz, is she? Yep, she's the director of Hertz Hospital. This old folk woman is the head of a hospital? So we have Dr. Hottie, who is missing a bunch of teeth, has an itching habit, and very perverted, and now we have an old lady that's the director of a hospital. This series can't get any weirder, right, Di? Don't you all phone me, ya dang reprobate. How did she do that? Yes, very much the charm of the series, because the weirder the better. Every character could have a series on its own. Every single character in the Ace Attorney series can have a series of their own. Whoa! Sounds like you're kind of a big deal, ma'am. Not to mention that the Miles Edgeworth games were originally going to be the Emma Sky, which would have been interesting to see, but also I don't think the Emma Sky name is that big. Miles Edgeworth is a bigger name. Oh, that's not not wrong. Not wrong at all. Oh, him? He's the one looking after the girl. The one with amnesia. It seems Dr. Hertz is a bit of an introvert. Really? You're gonna call her an introvert when she runs a hospital? She's with people every day and she's gonna be labeled as an introvert. This old woman's touching grass more times than a lot of us are. Want me to fix those brow furrows of yours, Sonny? Oh, there's no fixing those, ma'am. They're downright incurable. What? You sure you want me to say that, Grandma? Well, alright then. Nah, I don't got a dang thing more to say to none of ya. You go on about your business, you hear? As long as the business don't involve messing with the deceased's body, I got work to do. Wait, please, Not a dang thing, I tell ya. Hey, you can't talk to us like that. What gives you the right, huh, pal? Oh, didn't I mention? Grandma is also a coroner. She's in charge of this case, which means ouch! Which means exactly that, What do you mean, exactly what? How am I supposed to know? She said it, not me.
It's like I'm trapped in. It's like I'm trapped in a comedy routine I can't escape. The Two Stooges. Mo and Shemp. Larry and Curly was left home. Well, we've got a body to be looking at. Catch you later, gang, and take care. What the heck is their deal? It doesn't matter, as long as we have permission to investigate. What does it matter? It matters as much, sir. What will you do now, Mr. Edgeworth? Examine the scene of the crime, of course. What kind of prosecutor would I be if I didn't? Alright, let's get to work. That person over there is called K, right? Surely that means I can't be the K you know. That's what we're looking to find out, but don't worry. You're the K we know. I'm certain of it. Thanks. A K who lost her memory and a victim who shares her name. Both meeting their respective fates here at the big building. No doubt this case can't be the key to restoring our K's memories. I'll stake my life on it. Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence Chamber. Officer, tell me about the security arrangements for this room. Yes, sir. You need a special key card to enter, sir. Interesting. So not just anybody can enter? Room security. A security key card is needed to enter the committee chamber. In which case, the person who discovered the body would have been, yes sir, a member of the committee. They found it when they arrived for today's hearing. Hearing? Why hearing? Which would be underway right now if it wasn't for this. Yes, sir. Can't believe a murder just dropped in our laps like this. It really came out of nowhere. I've got to admit, I'm not much good with surprises. My mind is just going to blink, you know. So if you're asking what I've noticed so far, the answer is diddly squads. Well, at least you didn't beat around the bush. That shows intelligence of the sort. What? Was that a compliment, sir? I'm so honored. My first ever compliment from Mr. Edgeworth. I'll remember those words as long as I live. Thanks for making it awkward to burst your bubble now, detective. Who knew the committee was right below the viewing platform? Saved ourselves a walk though, huh, Mr. Edgeworth? Oh, I was checking out the pamphlet again and spotted a blurb about the committee. It's in this side column. Big building, little buns. Let's see here. On the 15th floor in the trial chamber of the Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence. It's where puffed up prosecutors are called to get the deflating of their lives and the souvenir X title. So go on up to see faces so sad they make beach blobfish look happy. I feel sorry for the blobfish. A beach blobfish is terrible. If you actually seen what they look like underwater versus what they look like above water, it's just sad. And then you put that blobfish back in the water, it dies. Blobby. you know what I'm talking about, right?
To think Pokemon referenced Ditto after the pink blobfish. I don't have a face sadder than a beast blobfish. No, that was the column. I was just reading what it says, sir. The sad-looking fish. Yeah. So, we've got a living K over here and a not-so-living one over there. Why are they both called K? It can't just be a coincidence, right? No, but we'll need to examine the body if we are to find out more. And how are we supposed to do that when Madame Pom-Pom won't let us near it? She's simply doing her job, Detective. We need to patiently wait her return. Fine. In the meantime, maybe I could share a little theory of mine. Hope you don't mind. See, I keep hearing about this cloning stuff they can do nowadays. What if somebody made a copy of K? That would explain this whole mess, right? No. First of all, they don't look alike. Let's take a look around the room while the coroner finishes up her examination of the body. I've never been ignored so hard in my life. The reason why I go through all that, because there's a lot of people that don't. For one, I like to get the some hidden details, because a lot of times those hidden details, they help out a lot. I don't need it. Yes? Can I help you with something? This is quite the room. The big wooden box is full of books. The big person carved out of stone. Sparkly window. It seems you've even forgotten the names of some everyday objects. Let me try to jog your memory, Kay. Repeat after me. Bookshelves. Bookshelves? What? Stained glass. Stolen glassware? Law books. Law breaker? Got a statue. Got this snitch too? Is it just me, or are all of her mistakes pointing in a certain direction? Oh, God. This is also the reason why I do these things. You were loudly claiming to be my assistant just the other day, Kay. Do you really not remember anything? Does nothing about me come to mind at all? Oh! Maybe I do remember one thing. I remember being on the viewing platform up on the roof. Yes? And you were pointing your finger at me. I don't think that's what he meant. Go on. And asking me questions with a scary look on your face. That was only a few minutes ago. Wow, poor kid. Literally, her only memory is of you trying to catch her in a contradiction, sir.
I'd be scared too. I might have just given up right then and there, yeah. That'd be the end of me for sure. If you think that's scary, Detective, just you wait. You must remember Detective Gumshoe, Kay. You and he were very close. Yeah. Don't it remind you of anything? Reminds me of... Wait, I do remember something. I remember Mr. Edgeworth scolding you, and not just once, hundreds of times. Hello, Woven Horror Man. How's it going for you? That's no memory, kid. That's just the joy of our day-to-day life together. Isn't that right, Mr. Edgeworth? Joy, is it? Must not be doing a good enough of a job reprimanding you then. You're welcome. I'll just have to try harder next time. Okay. So, can't be easy reading books this size, or lifting them for that matter. And the committee only just moved. It must have been quite the undertaking. Hauling stuff around is kind of my forte. They should have given me a call. Well, if we run into the chairman, I'll be sure to ask if there's more heavy lifting to be done. I was joking, sir. I can't be carrying stuff up 50 flights of stairs. I have a real job to do. I was joking too, Detective, but why were you planning on taking the stairs? The statue of the goddess of justice. You sure know your stuff, sir. So, does she dole out blessings or what? She's not that kind of goddess, Detective. She's a symbol of the synchrony of the law. The scales represents justice, the sword, retribution, and the blindfold shows her impartiality. I must scour the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention. Di, have you started to remember this one? Or do you still remember, I must inspect every suspicious looking nook and cranny? You do still remember that one. This one yet? Do you remember it? There's a pool of blood here at the foot of the statue. Judging by the amount and how it is spread, I say this is where the victim was killed. We'll get back to that. But the body's on the table behind us, sir. How come? I can only surmise the killer must have moved it for some reason after committing the murder. Sorry to intrude. Who are... Huh? What's that, Grandma? I know that voice anywhere. That's Von Karma's little girl. Oh, so you two know each other? Been too long, Grandma Hertz. And you are well, Miles Edgeworth?
What? What's she doing here? Die! Who is she? This is like the fourth game she's in. Oh, you mean Franziska. Francisca. Franziska. Franziska. Von Karma. Franziska. She is the daughter of Manfred von Karma and prosecutors like myself. These days, she's mainly been working with Interpol, though I thought she was supposed to be abroad. Don't look so surprised. Where my investigation leads, I follow, no matter where in the world that it may be. Which means that there must be some kind of international angle to this case, yes? You know full well that I've been pursuing a certain smuggling ring. And that I won't rest until it has been destroyed. And its ill-gotten goods recovered. So the smuggling ring is involved then? That information is to be shared on a need-to-know basis. You don't need to know. I see she means to be as helpful as ever. Miss Von Karma? Was it? Grandma wants to tell you something. I'm about done here. Scene's all yours. In that case, we'd like to examine the body ourselves, too. If you wouldn't mind. I mind plenty. I remember where I heard about you now, you dang varmint. Don't need no soon-to-be ex-prosecutor messing this place up. Go on, get. Just remember it's not me saying that stuff, okay? Please, Granny, it's important. Who you calling Granny, little missy? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. This is going nowhere. I didn't want to have to do this, but... Franziska, I need your address to this investigation. We have to see the body up close, or we'll never learn the truth about what happened to Kay. As in Kay Faraday? Please, you gotta help us out here. Kay needs us. I don't know what you're up to, but very well. Thank you. You won't regret it. Of course. I expect to receive a full explanation when I grill you later. We owe you, sir, big time. I wasn't talking to you, Scruffy! Yow! Wow, Grandma Hurts. Will you allow them to examine the body? I ain't about to say no to an international big shot like yourself, hon. But are you sure about this? Yeah, I agree with Grandma. Are you sure about this? Of course I'm sure. It's my prerogative to judge the whole world in my name. That's just common sense. Of the extremely arrogant sort, perhaps. Say yourself, but don't say I didn't warn ya. Well, you heard her. Try not to get fired, okay? Don't worry. It'll take a lot more than this to ruin my reputation should things turn sour. Unlike me, who's on the verge of losing my badge. Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence Chamber.
Well, one thing's for certain. This isn't Kay. She doesn't even look like her.
I think we knew that already, Detective. Our case standing right over there, after all. The victim looks to be in her 30s. She's wearing a white suit. Could be she worked in one of those offices here in the building. Perhaps, but for now, she remains unidentified. Question is, why did the police seem to think her name was Kay? I must scour the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention. This book! What the?
That's Kay's promise notebook.
It's where she wrote down all the promises she made to her dad.
Haven't seen this in a while.
You remember this book, don't you, Di? Indeed. A book of vows made by a child to her father. Kay's promise to Daddy. Promise 1, never take things from a stranger. Promise 2, never go anywhere with a stranger. What exactly is it doing here? Promise 3, always greet people with a smile, even people you don't know. Promise 4, never cry in front of strangers. Promise 5, always try your hardest to learn about things you don't understand.
Oh, I just remembered something. Detective Bad told me a few years back. He said something precious to Kay had disappeared from the station.
What? Evidence went missing from police custody?
Detective Bad said he looked for it everywhere, but no dice.
What could this mean? And why did it turn up here of all places? You there. What do you know about this notebook, officer?
The victim was holding it when they found her, sir.
It was the only thing with any kind of name on it at the time. So that's how she became Kay.
Talk about a red herring. Still doesn't explain how she ended up with it, though.
If only we had a few more leads on the victim's true identity. It seems she suffered a serious burn to her hand at some point.
You think that had something to do with how she died?
No, this scar is too old for that. I would imagine it happened some time ago. She's holding something. Detective, could you open her hand for me?
Yes, sir, right away. What is that? Wait, I know. It's a loyalty card. Probably from a store. Ouch!
It's a security key card. It's a key card!
Why, sir, why?
The question we should be asking is, what does it open? Key card. Key card carried by the victim. What was it used for? Pure white jacket with a deep red stain on its lapel. This jacket, the buttons are on the wearer's right hand side. What's so weird about that? Buttons always go on to the right side, no? Not on women's clothing. Traditionally, the buttons would be on the left. You probably never noticed that, have you, Di? You take a look at a woman's dress jacket and see which side that they're on.
Like I always say, sir, you sure know your stuff.
This is common knowledge, Detective. Nothing else seems amiss. Wait. What's this in the pocket?
Pair of gloves, also white.
Don't seem to be soiled in any way. Imagine they must have belonged to the victim. Victim's hair is caked with blood.
Looks like she was hit with something, huh?
Unfortunately, it's too early to say for certain. Perhaps an answer will turn up as we investigate further. There's something pinned to the jacket here. Piece of magenta fabric.
Whatever it was, it looks like it was torn off pretty roughly.
It doesn't look as if there's anything in the chest pocket.
Nothing except this hole right here.
By the look of the fabric, how the fabric was torn, I think it was pierced by something sharp.
Can't keep your coins in there, no. They'll fall out.
Have you never heard of a change purse, Detective?
Sure have, sir. It's another word for a pocket, right?
I give up. So, Di, what do you think these holes were made from? I'll let you decide. Figure out what the hole is made from. Do you know? Di, do you know how those holes were made in her chest? Maybe from this thing down here? That's not what I want.
Do you think this could be the murder weapon?
A three-armed candelabrum. The victim suffered the same number of punctured wounds to the chest. Punctured wounds that could well have been made by these spikes. Candle album? Not quite, Detective. Candelabrum, a candle holder. In other words,
Ah, gotcha. That reminds me. I forgot to pay my electric bill once a while back, and I had to live by candlelight for a whole month. Who does that in this day and age?
candelabrum data jotted down in my organizer. Okay, so let's do so. Could this be related to the evidence somehow? So now I'm going to let you pick a piece of evidence that relates to that.
Eureka!
Judging by its appearance, I'd say the flower Kay was carrying originally belonged to the victim. Yeah, now that you mention it, it doesn't look like it's made out of the same fabric. Indeed, let's make a closer comparison. The torn edges match up exactly. You've got one heck of an eye, sir. Magenta flower data updated in my organizer. If the flower belonged to the victim, this implies a connection between the victim and Kay Faraday. Furthermore, it appears that the flower was torn off with considerable force. Kay Faraday was involved in the incident somehow, and based on what we're seeing here, we may have no choice but to treat her as our main suspect.
What? But there's no way she could have done this! I can't even begin to imagine it! There isn't a murderous bone in her body!
Nevertheless, we lack the evidence to prove such an assertion. This is one of the very hardest cases. For one, you always get to see that face no matter when things go bad. For the moment, we simply considering all the possibilities. Isn't that right, Miles Edgeworth? For better or worse, yes. So we only have two that we can connect here, apparently. I would imagine that the victim's keycard probably grants access to this room, wouldn't you?
Let me go find out, sir.
I'm back. I found some detail on the keycard in the security system. It's for this room, just like you said. So the victim was able to enter and exit this chamber freely. Assuming that the keycard actually belonged to her, yes. Indeed. Keycard data jotted down in my organizer. It seems we're no closer to discovering the identity of our victim. Then, am I really Kay? Can you really be sure?
Of course we're sure. What are you talking about?
Thank you. And that person lying there is someone you may have murdered. That's all we can say for now.
No, there's no way she did it! Isn't that right, sir?
Indeed, I don't believe that Kay would have come. I don't believe Kay, we know, could have done something like this. You're becoming a real softie, Miles Edgeworth. Well, look who it is again. Ugh, I know that voice. With a winning smile and the #1 name in the business, it is I, Prosecutor Eustace Winner. Please forgive the intrusion. Step away from the body, Edgeworth. I didn't call for you, and I don't need you. This case is mine. It's what the victim would have wanted. You knew the victim? So, it really is her. Here in the States, it would be illegal for both of them to be on this crime scene. Because if they have any connections with the victim, they are not supposed to be investigating the crime scene. But be not afraid, everyone, for the goddess of justice will guide us to the truth. She sure will. Now that I'm here, everything is going to be alright. Whoever did this will live to regret it, and I'll show them what he ate. Miles Edgeworth, who is this impeccable? Beckel. Imbecile.
Why am I getting the death glare? I've got nothing to do with him.
Francesca von Karma, I presume? My apologies. I should be introducing myself sooner. Verity Gavel, at your service. And the deceased in this case is
Rosie Ringer, attorney at law and a member of the Committee of Prosecutical Excellence.
I see. That would explain the key card. So you're the lead prosecutor?
Yep, which means this case will be solved in aye! You didn't tell me your name yet, little boy. If you want to know my name, all you have to do is ow! Stop babbling and tell me now! It's Eustace Winter!
I think we established where the balance of power lies in this particular room.
Mr. Guy in charge?
Here, this is from Grandma.
What's this? Oh, the preliminary findings. Looks like it's game over for you, Edgeworth.
This isn't a game, Mr. Winter.
Alright. That's me done. See ya next shift, Steph.
Yeah, home time. I could murder a bowl of noodles right about now. We're out of here, everybody. Stay healthy. Let's see. So, the wound on her head is from when she fell over after she died? Eustace.
It was the candle holder that killed her, huh? She died? Something late last night. What now, Gavel?
It's very kind of you to share... It's very kind of you to share the coroner's findings with everybody, Eustace. But perhaps you should leave it there. We wouldn't want you to strain your voice after all.
No, that would be a tragedy.
Sarcastically. Coroner's findings, data jotted down in my organizer.
Anyways, that settles it. We need to arrest Kate Faraday. What? What the heck are you talking about?
I think Eustace's meaning was very clear. Miss Faraday is the murderer. And though she is dressed differently than usual, this young lady covered in bandages is Miss Faraday herself, correct? I love how they just accuse somebody without evidence. Which would be illegal here in the United States. You really mean to arrest her here and now? If you do, then I'll be forced to object. Loudly and forcefully. And as if further confirmation were needed, there it is. The committee was right to call your conduct into question. It is questionable in the extreme. Please, Mr. Edgeworth, just go. It's fine.
Fine? This is anything but fine, Kay.
I still don't remember anything. So maybe I did do it. Maybe I killed the poor woman. I just don't remember. The goddess smiles on those who confesses their sin. It is her wish that our confessions cleanse us. She applauds your commitment to the cause of justice, as do I. Judge Gavel, Eustace, if you really intend to arrest Kay, could you at least explain your grounds for doing so? I, for one, certainly don't intend to yield. Not until I have seen some evidence to support your accusation. And allow me, prepared to be hit with a face full of deductive genius, Edgeworth. Why I think Kay did it. They call it the human race because somebody has to win it. And that somebody is me. I won this race too. I saw it before anybody else did. Kay Faraday is the murderer, no doubt about it. She snuck into the committee chamber looking to do some of her trademark great thieving, which means that nobody but her could have killed Rosie Ringer. Deductive genius? That was a total mess. If Detective Gumshoe is saying that, you know it must be bad. I asked you to explain your grounds for arresting Kay, yet you have explained exactly nothing. True, but we haven't seen any proof of her innocence either. It's alright, Kay. Mr. Edgeworth will pull off a miracle somehow. You just gotta believe in him. My deductions aren't acts of divine intervention, you know. Well, Maya Edgeworth, I'd hate for you to disappoint me. But in the event that you do, I will be sure to freely let you know.
Hold it!
There are two major flaws with the statement you just made. Flaws? In a statement of mine? I don't make mistakes. It's literally impossible. And that's the third flaw right there. You're just trying to confuse me. It's a cheap tactic even for you. Well, it won't work because I'm the champion of not getting confused. So there. Hold on a sec. I just noticed. Hold on a sec. I just noticed that there's a brightness issue with it because Andy didn't fix the brightening to this. Oh no, wait. The brightness is set to default. Maybe he did. Okay. I guess I was looking at it wrong. Would you mind explaining the grounds for your accusation in a little more detail? Well, if you insist. Prepare to be wowed, Edgeworth. I figured it all out before anybody else even had the chance. Before I even saw the scene. No, before I even heard about the case. I knew it right away. She did it. She's the murderer. It can't be anyone else. Yeah! Your grounds. Yes, sorry! I was just getting to that.
Hold it!
Oh, really? And what was it she was trying to steal? Well, a file. A very particular file. One pertaining to your professional conduct, in fact, Mr. Edgeworth. And you can prove that she needed this file badly enough to steal it?
Overruled!
Oh, there'll be no need to go into that. Will there, Mr. Prosecutor? No, that, won't be necessary. What? Please, Mr. Winter, continue.
Hold it!
And you have proof that it could only have been Kay who committed the murder? Nope. Then might I suggest you try looking into other possible suspects with all due haste? For that, I believe, would be the winning approach here. The winning approach?
Overruled.
According to the reports we received, the police have found no signs of anyone else's involvement. So you're accusing Kay based on that alone? A little tenuous even for you. And suggesting that there are other possible suspects when there clearly aren't, isn't? Ugh. If only I had something that could have proved Kay didn't do it. This is obviously a setup. Plain and simple. You don't have to. It's alright, Kay. The truth will come out, I promise. I just need you to give me some time. Okay. Kay isn't capable of murder. There's no way she killed Mr. Ringer. But I have to prove that somehow, or she'll remain a suspect. Alright, Di. Time to pick a statement. Oops, hold on. Alright. Now you gotta pick a piece of evidence. There's nothing on page 1 that'll help you.
Objection!
Are you familiar with this room, Mr. Winter? It certainly sounds like you are. What can I say? Winners know where winners go. I'm number 1 and 2 and 3. In other words, the majority of your work is second, if not third rate. Why do you always have to make fun of me? You can take it as a slight. You can take it as a slight if you wish. But the fact remains that you seem unfamiliar with this key card. Who do you take me for? Of course I'm familiar with it. You need one of those to get in here. Hasn't realized it yet, has he, Di? Don't you? Have you no shame? Mr. Winter, do you really even suspect Kay?
Of course I do. She did it. Faraday's the killer.
And perhaps you can tell us how Kay got into such a secure room as this without a key card.
Ah! There was a masterful summary.
Now, as we know, only members of the committee have key cards. Therefore, only they can enter. Precisely. Huh? Why is she agreeing with me? Please, take a look at this. I had security pull the data earlier. As you can see, the door to this room was opened at 12:52 with Miss Ringer's keycard. Keycard record data jotted down in my organizer. We cannot know for certain, of course, but who's to say the culprit didn't enter the room with Miss Ringer and then kill her over some sort of subsequent disagreement? It's certainly a plausible theory, but that's all it is. For one, it would require the victim and her murderer to have known one another.
Yeah, and Kay didn't know the woman. I'm sure of it.
Overruled.
How can you possibly be sure of such a thing? That's pure speculation on your part, Detective. There is no place for guesswork in the courtroom or at a crime scene. Hard evidence is what is required. In that case, are you suggesting that you have said hard evidence to support your theory? Evidence that Kay Faraday and Rosie Ringer knew one another? But of course.
What?
I have here a letter. Dr. Hertz found it in the victim's chest pocket. Another of the victim's possession? And you kept this to yourself until now? You planned for this, didn't you? Is that why?
It was a candle holder that killed her, huh? And she died. Sometime late last night. What now, Gavel?
It's very kind of you to share the coroner's findings with everybody, Eustace. But perhaps you should leave it there. We wouldn't want you to strain your voice after all. Ha ha ha. Shall I read it for you? Rosie, thanks so much for agreeing to help with my plan. Now we can both get what we want. Good luck getting your revenge for what happened 12 years ago, Kay. This would seem to indicate pretty strongly that the two of them were accomplices, wouldn't you say? Accomplices in a plot to steal from this very room in which we are standing.
No!
Wait. So your principal suspect is Miss Kay Faraday for this second crime, as well as Miss Ringer's murder. Victim's letter data jotted down in my organizer. I'm the principal suspect? Well, we have two different spelling of principal in this case. Overlooked by the devs. Your devs forgot to proofread their stuff.
Don't listen to her. It's all lies. All of it. You're not like that. You'd never do any of that stuff. They're accusing you of.
Then how do you explain the letter, Detective? Unlike Mr. Winter, I suspect that Judge Cavell herself some proof to support her accusation, but I didn't expect it to be quite so definitive. Nicely done, Gabelle. Thank you, Eustace.
Hold it!
We're not done here yet. I still have questions, and you'd better have answers. Would you mind if I handle this, Eustace? Be my guest. Have fun arguing Edgeworth into the ground. I can't let him steamroll me on this. I have to find a way to take back the advantage. Kay's letter. As the letter more than adequately proves, Miss Faraday and Miss Ringer were acquainted. It seems Miss Faraday has asked for Miss Ringer's help in a plot of some kind, but for whatever reason the alliance must have broken down. Miss Ringer lost her life in the resulting disagreement, but she had one last card to play. The letter she kept safe in her chest pocket, which spells out the name of her killer.
She's good. Better than ever, even. Think you can take her down, Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, of course. Don't do this out of pride, Miles Edgeworth. If you're going to fail, do it on somebody else's time.
Hey, whose side are you on, sir?
There is only one side to be on, Scruffy. The side of the truth.
Uh-oh. Looks like the kid's got something to say.
Well, if there's only one side to be on, then it'll be on the winning side. Ah! Quiet, you!
Huh, my thoughts exactly.
Hold it!
What exactly was the nature of their relationship? Miss Faraday was grateful for Miss Ringer's cooperation, just as the letter says. I think that more than adequately describes it, don't you? Now, as I was saying,
Hold it!
can you tell us any more about this plot? The letter implies a theft. And it was written by your friend Faraday, making her the prime suspect. Case closed.
Objection!
Anybody can forge a letter. It's not a conclusive proof of anything.
Overruled!
I also seem to recall Miss Faraday referring to herself as the Great Thief on more than one occasion. She's on sabbatical. How can you be so sure of that? It's unlikely she would tell you if she had resumed her activity, surely. Perhaps she took up stealing again and simply chose to keep it from you? I can't prove that either way right now, and she knows it. As I was saying, it seems Miss Faraday and Mr. Ringer were involved in a plot to steal something.
Hold it!
Whatever reason, could you be a little more specific? Not at the moment, but I'm sure our investigation will cover any number of possibilities, whereas your lack of proof that Miss Faraday is innocent continues to be a major problem for you.
Objection!
I can see that some of the evidence would seem to point to Kay's involvement. None of it is anywhere near conclusive.
Overruled!
A letter explicitly outlining connection to the victim backed up by supporting evidence from the scene. How much more conclusive could it be? And what's more, where is your proof to the contrary?
Hold it!
Is there any actual evidence to show that Kay killed Mr. Ringer? You don't give up, do you? What do you call that letter, huh? Evidence, huh? Duh. I wouldn't be so sure. For one thing, it doesn't mention anything resembling a murder plan. It doesn't? Oh, I guess not, huh? Aha! But it will once we have a flame to it and reveal the secret writing. I wouldn't place too much hope into revealing anything, Eustace. And we don't need to. Not when we have...
Hold it!
We were able to examine the pocket in question for ourselves. And you want to know why the letter wasn't there, I assume? It's simple. The police's number one priority was handing it over to me. The victim had kept it on the left side of her chest, not to her heart. In other words, to indicate her heart's desire that her killer be brought to justice. I have little interest in sentimental speculations about Miss Ringer's desire, but one thing does interest me. The fact that you said the letter was in the victim's left chest pocket. It is the truth, as the goddess is my witness. That is where the letter was found. There's no doubt about it. Same place where she was stabbed with a candelabra. I think that might prove to be a very important clue. I can't imagine Kay writing a letter like that. Unless we can get more out of Judge DeVell, I don't think we'll be able to prove that she didn't. I should try pressing the good judge on some of the statements and see if she's let something slip. Alright. Which which statement? You say the last one. All right. Evidence. Which evidence? Okay, that's it. This letter's not going to help us. The other letter isn't going to help us either. For one, this letter was not in the presence of the victim. Nothing on page 1 is going to help you. No, that's not going to help us. Remember, read the former part of the statement. The letter she kept safe in her left chest pocket. So, what piece of evidence is going to contradict that part of the statement? The key card record is not going to help you there.
Objection!
So the victim kept the most vital clue of all closest to her heart. How very touching. The voices of the dead fight to be heard. Even then, they don't always reach us. Her voice rang loud and true, and it told us that Miss Faraday is her killer. Like you may have misheard her, Your Honor. Or perhaps an evil spirit was trying to mislead you. Hey! Take that back! Perhaps we should try listening to the words of the coroner's report instead. By all means, if I recall correctly, the victim was stabbed on her left side. No! Yes, I'm afraid so. You claim the letter was found in the victim's chest pocket, right where she was stabbed by the candle holder. Indeed. 3 puncture wounds to the chest, and yet not one to the letter. Miraculous, no? So, now they have to figure out how Kay killed her. Because if they can't, they have to remove her as suspect. Well, Judge Gavel, how do you explain that? Because I think I can think of one explanation. There is a brightness setting. Where is it? It should be right here. But when I looked at it, it was set to 0, which is where it's supposed to, unless this is what I'm looking at. The opacity is fine. The brightness is set to 0 though. Yeah. What's it supposed to be set to? Negative 128? That's not possible. Well, it's at 0 now. Because the brightness is set, the opacity is set to 100. Everything else is set to 0. Well, I hit reset, nothing changed. I hit reset, nothing changed on it. It was changed someplace else. Yeah, but when I went and right-clicked on where it says GameCube, it was set to 0. When you hit reset, it goes to 0. It can't go to 128. It goes up to 100%. So I don't know how you put it at 128. No, the preset is 0. Here, look. The preset is 0. There's no way it goes to 100. Everything is set to 0.
Click up on here.
There's nothing there.
Click on input. Put this down to 128.
Why was it changed there?
Because that's how you change it.
No, it's not.
Okay, bring this brightness down.
Could have just hit this.
There.
Because you're supposed to change it here.
I didn't change it there because that's going to change the whole color of it.
Not when you change brightness, it shouldn't.
I changed it in video input so it could be seen on screen. Because that only changes it for your XSplit. That doesn't change
Yes, it does. I just changed it. It changed it on stream.
Okay.
It
Now
literally
looks better.
See, that's what this is for, because this affects what's on stream. Look. It affects what's on stream. That's what you should have used. There, that looks better. I apologize for all of that. All right. All right. The letter was deliberately placed there after the fact in order to cast suspicion on K. Someone went to a lot of trouble to create the crime scene we see before us. And that someone is the culprit, who almost certainly also forged this letter. No! It's clear that the culprit intended to frame K by means of that letter. And you fell for it hook, line, and sinker.
Objection!
No! Faraday did it! The letter was... It was in her other pocket, yeah. Huh? Seriously? The whole left chest pocket thing was a mistake. Whoever reported it must have meant their left. Ah! Stop your foolish floundering, you foolish fool. asshole? Or are you just that incurably foolish? Why do you keep whipping me? And stop making fun of my deduction. Yeah! There, I saved you the trouble of disciplining him. Yes. Even though I had no intention of doing so. The letter is stained with blood, which suggests it had indeed been placed somewhere on her left side. Therefore, I doubt there was some sort of mistake in report. Not unless the report was given by you. What? Gavel, say something! Yeah. No objections? Good. Then allow me to continue. So, we have established the existence of a second suspect. No, we haven't. The murder has to get in here, remember? Who else could have gotten in apart from Faraday and Ringer? Member of the committee. Whoever it was would have needed a key card. Judge Gabel proposed that the killer enter the room together with the victim. But if there is something questionable about the very basis of her theory itself, the piece of evidence points to another suspect other than K. You should already know what this one is, Di.
Take that!
Look again at the keycard record provided by Judge Gabel a short while ago. As already noted, the victim's keycard was used at 12:50 a.m. They're using the wrong image for the keycard record. It should look like a grid, not a letter. But you will note that someone else's keycard is also listed. A mystery person who could have entered beforehand and lay in wait for the victim, you mean? This other person entered at 10:15 p.m., so it's certainly not outside the realm of possibility. Except, I'm afraid it is. And where's your evidence, huh, Your Honor? My evidence? I am the evidence detective. It was my key card. Keycard record data updated in my organizer. It was her key card. What does that mean? What does that mean, Di? She could be a liable suspect herself. There's nothing suspicious about a committee member entering the chamber as I plead. Is there? Perhaps not. That's also not the exonerating evidence you seem to think it is. Unless you can also prove that you yourself didn't murder your colleague?
Overruled!
What utter nonsense. What would I have gained from killing her?
Objection!
I am sure you know how I'm going to answer that, Your Honor. I believe further investigation will shed light on any motives you might have had.
Overruled!
I am a faithful servant of the goddess. Why would I ever extort to an action of crime? I used my key card. That much is true. My reason for entering this room is far from questionable. And perhaps you care to tell us why? I had business here in the committee chamber. There was certain preparations to make. Preparations? Sounds pretty fishy to me. Sounds pretty suspicious to me. I am not at liberty to share what I was preparing for.
If she is being suspected, yes, she is allowed. Yes, she has full liberty. She has to tell. Because if she's being accused for murder, she cannot withhold any personal information. That is against the law, even for a judge. But I am sure Prosecutor Edgeworth can make an educated guess by hearing. She must have been busy gathering the documents they were going to use against me, to relieving me of my badge.
All right, children. That's enough. It's good to keep our skills and our tongues sharp, especially we're young. But that'll do for now.
Who in the...
Really takes me back to the days of my youth. Back when I was wrangled with a certain detective. He disappeared, you know. I hope he's out there somewhere living his best life.
This voice is gonna kill me. By the way, he has a chest full of prosecutor badges on him.
You'll have to forgive me, it's just... I get so emotional. The tears, I can't stop them.
Chairman Winner. Winner?
Ah, Verity, my girl. Do you ever stop working? Your deduction puts us all to shame. And is this young Francisca I see before me? Dear child, when did you get so big?
Uncle Winner, it's been far too long.
And so formal. I thought we were like family. You used to sit on my knee and shout, Uncle Winner! Uncle Winner! At the top of your little lungs. Ah! But time goes by so very fast. What can't help but shed a tear?
Dad, what are you doing here?
What am I doing here? A committee member has been murdered. And you're in charge of the case, my boy. What is this? Bring your pops to work day?
Silence. Do you have any idea who he is? This man is practically the right hand of the goddess herself. A former chief prosecutor and the current chairman of the Committee of Prosecutorial Excellence.
Now, Verity. There's no need to bring all that up. I'm just a harmless old man, really.
Allow me to apologize for the detective's rudeness. I am
Miles Edgeworth, correct? And your little subordinate Dick Gumshoe.
I am Excelsis Winner.
Excelsis Winner. Father to this idiot boy, among other things. My wife and I were so happy when he was born. I'm such a fat liar. And now she's gone too. Heaven only knows to where.
Dad, you're here. Use my handkerchief.
Thank you, son. You're a good boy. in your own silly way.
Like father, like son, I suppose. It was hard to say who's the bigger fool.
Well, Verity, how goes the investigation?
Thank you for asking, sir. We have identified a prime suspect, 1K Faraday. We are currently trying.
Objection!
You don't have nearly enough to make her your prime suspect, and you know it. Or have you forgotten what we just discovered about the letter?
Objection!
I told you, that was just a mix-up. They got the wrong ah! Don't test my patience.
All right, that's enough. Let's all just calm down, shall we?
I'm sorry you had to see that, sir. My humblest apologies.
I think you're all made your cases very clearly. All except for you, Eustace.
What? But, Dad! We are prosecutors. It is our duty to identify suspects and bring them to justice. But I wouldn't dare call someone a suspect without evidence or a motive.
Please, Mr. Edgeworth. I know all about your relationship to the accused. Thick as thieves seems pretty apt, based on what I heard. Kay's no criminal. She's helped us catch the bad guys loads of times.
Much about this case is still unclear, sir. Please, you have to let us.
Ah, it's heartwarming, really. The bonds of friendships are so strong among the young. Don't ask how I can burn 100 papers at the same time with a friggin' Zippo lighter. But circumstances being what they are, I'm afraid those bounds won't be enough. What the heck is that supposed to mean? The prosecutor's office needs this case cleared up as quickly as possible. Time is so precious and we have so little of it. There are so many other cases. I'm sorry, but you understand, of course, don't you? All right, Miss Carrie Faraday. Time to come along quietly.
Yes, sir.
You're not digging her. She's innocent, I tell you.
To defy the chairman of the committee is to defy the law itself. It is an act so brazen, a hearing won't be necessary at all. Are you prepared for Mr. Edgeworth to lose his badge over this detective?
What?
So either Kay goes down or Mr. Edgeworth loses his badge?
What the heck am I supposed to do?
You'd use his badge to shield yourself? Oh, how the committee too has fallen.
Kay, you're innocent.
Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Thank you. We've only known each other for a short while, but you've been very kind. I'm sorry. Sorry for being a criminal. Your contrition has been noted, Miss Faraday, and will be conveyed to the goddess of justice.
What in the world should I do? When I was little, all I wanted was to be like my father. To become an attorney and fight for those who can't fight for themselves. But now my fate is tied to that of this one tiny badge. One tiny badge against the life of a dear acquaintance. Who am I kidding? There's nothing to weigh up here.
I guess this is it. Goodbye, Mr. Edgeworth.
Hold it!
Judge Gavell, a moment, please. Yes? What is it? Your badge? What is the meaning of this? I am returning it. From this day forth, I'm a prosecutor no longer. Mr. Edgeworth. What are you doing, Miles Edgeworth? Explain yourself right now. You're giving it all up just like that?
You can't mean it, sir. Tell me you're kidding, please. If you're not a prosecutor anymore, then what does that make me?
I have one duty and one duty alone. To pursue the truth. If being a prosecutor means I must turn a blind eye to the very truth before me, then I will gladly shed the title to be free. I'll carve my own path, one I believe in. I won't let my search for the truth end here.
Objection!
Are you running away from the Von Karma? From me? Say what you will, Francesca. You won't change my mind. So you're leaving me behind again? I'll never forgive you for this. Never! No, this is all my fault. Kay, none of this would have happened if it wasn't for me. Wait, Kay, don't go. You stay right where you are, detective.
But sir,
I'm not a prosecutor anymore.
don't say that. Where you go, I go, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm always there, right by your side.
There's no need for you to do that now, detective. Simply focus on your job and do what you can.
Well now, this is no good, is it? We let a dangerous criminal run free. I tried, and yet it's never enough.
There's no need to worry, sir. We'll set up a cordon. She won't get far.
She'd better not. I'll be very disappointed in you if she does.
Okay. Thoughts? Is that box of tissue empty now, Di? You might have to get another box for next week. Alright, let's review what we just encountered. A lot happened, yes. So Kay is primary suspect. The committee will not acknowledge another suspect. To be honest with you, Judge Gavelle should have been acknowledged as a suspect because she's on the keycard list. She should have been. If it was a case that was here in the States, she would have automatically been listed as a suspect because she was listed on the keycard record. And her time is within the time of the murder. How they acknowledge, how they place Kay in with the crime when she could not have any access to this at all is beyond me. So that, I feel that is kind of a bit of a stretch, but, well, that's what this game has. But Judge Gavelle should have been accused first before anybody else. But you better get your box of tissues prepared for next week, because it's just going to get more sad. I will, like I did with all the rest of the cases, that are Chinese names mean painkiller. Rosie Ringer. Her name in the fan translation is Jill Crane. May indicate to heartbroken to Kagome Kagome by referring to the nursery rhyme Jack and Jill, backed by Cummings' given name being changed to Jack, surname Crane. More directly links back to Kagome Kagome, where the Crane is mentioned alongside the turtle. Excelsis winner, who was named Blaze the Bass in the fan translation. I like Blaze the Bass. Blaze is presumably a play on for Blaze, but we're fiery burning fire. This is likely a reference to the lighter, which flashed out the match for a flame during the breakdown. The best is to play on the best. Blaze may also be a play on the blast of praise, which when combined with the best alludes to the meaning of the Japanese name. Additionally, the coin for is given is used alongside its full surname to mean short to be the best, which could be read as be the best. Blaze is the name of a mathematician who was a child prodigy and wrote work in that was at such a level that Descartes believed it was written by his father. I won't read all of that, but you could probably get it. Our bearded friend
Friday is going to be the start of training camp for the CFL. Guy, you want to have some videos of that? That one. Edgeworth next week. So you all have a good night.